I mean, these children should know what is happening around. You're a good thinker, you may be a good understanding listener, but you should also be communicate. Communications
in the form of writing or in the
form of writing, talking. You're like a bow from which your arrow is going. The arrow is your child. You have given birth to the child.
What do you remember how adolescence was viewed when you were first started compared to now?
Hello and welcome to this new edition of this podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Dr. U.N.B Rao, who is a retired IPS officer and a prominent figure in the field of youth and adolescent counseling. He's also known for founding the Urivi Vikram Charitable Trust. He's also a researcher with a Ph.D. from IIT Delhi. The trust focuses on providing career guidance and counseling for disadvantaged youth and has advocated for adolescent specific policies in India. Sir, very warm welcome. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, I want to begin by asking you, you have dedicated much of your life making adolescents better understood in India. What do you remember how adolescent was viewed when you were first started compared to now?
See, when we started the trust, which happened in 1991, we were only knowing that child and adult. That is, child is up to 18, after 18 is the adulthood. Adolescence is a different stage, that is 10 to 19. This is a definition given by World Health Organization. We realized that stage of adolescence has different features, different demands, which we were never taking into view. We were, as I said, we were brushing them aside as either a child or as an adult. So, 91, that was the situation. Only in 1909, by the time we realized India doesn't have any consideration like adolescent. There is a stage, we held a national meet, we involved a number of organizations, also Government of India, Ministry of H.D., they also cooperated. We held the first national meet in 1999, saying towards a policy for young adults, rather young adults is slightly broader than adolescents. And in this national meet, we involved, as I said, number of other organizations. Plus, about 300 adolescents have been invited from different parts of the country through NSS, NCC, and various organizations. Then we also gathered, or rather invited, experts. Somebody have been talking about adolescent. All of them have been brought together. We had a 3-day national meet in Delhi, and we discussed. The discussion brought out very clearly that adolescence is a distinct stage of human development. Like child up to 10 years. Adolescence is 10 to 19. That time, the type of problems, it requires a distinct handling. That is what we brought out in our advocacy document. After 3 days of discussions, we prepared a report, some sort of advocacy document for the adolescents, for the young adults. And this is the document which we carried to the government at the highest level. And it was accepted. It was rather appreciated. That was the time 10th plan was coming up. Fortunately for us, whatever advocacy document which we prepared, that is, we will show you that. Advocacy document has become the basis for the working group of adolescents. And Planning Commission also accepted that this, for the first time, we are focusing on this group. Somehow we overlooked this group. This was what Planning Commission said in 2000. Very good. And then all over India, again experts brought in, the working group was there. and I was made a member of both working group and drafting committee. So that's where we had put all our thoughts about the adolescents. Whatever programs by then we were doing, even before this policy thing has come up, we already started in 94 counseling and career guidance for this, for the students, school going children. We need counseling, career guidance. And that time, even the Prime Minister of India said India had almost 75% children are dropouts. So then we thought, then we tried to understand, is it like all these dropouts are a waste? Don't they have some energies? So keeping that in mind, we developed another program called Shakti, just to build up their strengths. Whatever strengths each child is having, we build them up so that the weaknesses came down. This program went on beautifully for 5 years. Every batch we had about 30, 40 students, and we were just telling them, improve their strengths. They should, you need not be just a graduate or a master. You can become a good worker. You can be a good tradesman. Try to do whatever, identify your thing. We always encourage self-employment. And this program, as it was going on, UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund, they saw this program and they wanted to study this program. We said, okay, please study, but don't take away the credit or whatever is an initiative of India. So true to that, they got a team from Geneva. They studied the program and they said that is a life skills for out of school adolescents. Today when we hear so much about life skills, I would say all those life skill programs are all a upshot of this program, the Shakti program and life skills. That is, life skills, if a child is knowing, have the life skills, that is how to cope up. Basically 3 skills are needed: thinking skills, social skills, and negotiating skills.
When you are saying thinking skills, that means critical thinking skills?
All are there. Thinking, critical, and also something out of the box thinking. Everything connecting to this are thinking skills. And social skills. These children should know what is happening around. When they are studying, they don't bother, okay, mommy, daddy are helping us. They study. But they should see what will happen to them once they are 19, 20, or once they are married. They have to bring up the family. So that they should be productive. These are the social skills. What is happening, how others are doing. Social skills. And thinking, social, and negotiating skills. I will be able to communication, rather. You call it communication skills. You may be a good thinker, you may be a good understanding of the service, but you should also be able to communicate. Communication skills.
In the form of writing or in the form of?
Form of writing, talking. Even, for example, he needs something from the father. He should know how to ask the father.
How to approach your father.
Father.
Many of us are
Yes.
afraid to approach our
Afraid,
father.
or when father is in a bad mood, you go and ask for something. No. That is what communication skills. Of course, as life skills evolved, now people say there are 10 core skills, 20 core skills. But basically, all the skills are around these 3. So we are happy that our initiatives helped in, one, a policy for the adolescents. Another is the life skills modules, life skills education.
So before going into the details of the projects which you have undertaken so far, for our viewers, could you please specify the age group in which an adolescent, because we generally use a word called teenage for this age group. So how different it is from that word or the age group?
See, teenage is a word colloquial, it is English. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. The count ending with teen, they are counted as the teenagers. Adolescence includes teenagers because adolescent is 10 years to 19 years. This is more scientific. This is a universal, worldwide. People have, the WHO is the standard organization. They have specified adolescents. Nothing wrong in saying teenagers. But again, in adolescence, there are, again, NCRT, National Council for Research, Education Research. They have divided adolescence into 3 parts: early adolescence, middle adolescence, and late adolescence. 10 to 13 is early adolescence. It is during that stage the child keeps observing the surroundings. He will be he will be just watching, not reacting so much. Mostly they observe and they try to grasp. But 14 to 17, that is the age which is most difficult age. In that age, whatever they observe and see, they start experimenting. They start doing. For example, they have seen their father smoking, somebody smoking, they try to do it in that age. Need not everybody do, but they may experiment. Somebody teaching, somebody is playing, somebody is stealing. Some of these things they try to experiment during that 14 to 17.
It was more of an experimental stage for us.
Yes, that is the stage parents, teachers, every one of us should be careful about that age. And by 18, 19, more or less, whatever personality development happened by 17, that gets formed up 18, 19. Then the life starts.
Coming back to the programs which you have undertaken under your trust, could you share a moment that made you realize the importance of starting or to create something for these young people, something which the programs which you have already mentioned?
See, I hail from a town, one of the small towns. I got into IPS, and anytime I went to my native place, people used to come up. Sir, give job for our child. What is that you studied? Ah, sir, 10th tak pada hai. After 10th, he did not progress. Why? No, sir, padhai acha nahi laga. So, I started seeing lot of dropouts. Then first stage is why they are dropping out. That's what we thought. By the time the base of the trust has started, as I said, 91, started the trust. So, we have seen many of the children develop small problems. Those small problems, somebody clarifies to them in time. They're able to progress. So that is where we felt counseling. And second thing is, many children have a doubt, what do I do after this? Oh, people are not getting job. What is it I will do? So we wanted to make clear, we have almost thousands of careers in our country. Almost 5,000 careers supposed to exist in India. They need not be government jobs. There are number of self-employment, number of branches with the technology coming. Oh, lot more branches are coming up. So this is why we used this prerana, we called it, where counseling and career guidance we did. And then the Shakti is the program we said. And we also started Sahara program. Okay. After you have improved the child dropout, but what he will do? For that we started some vocational streams, vocational programs, whatever they can do. Not a single NGO can do all. Various NGOs we used to group and see that the child gets into one of them and improve the qualification, expertise, proficiency. Then they go into jobs. We generally encouraged, as I said earlier, we generally encouraged more of self-employment avenues.
Sir, you have been working in this field from over the last 35 years. So, what kind of changes have you noticed in adolescent when it comes to coping with stress or with uh, working with any particular projects or with families also? So, what kind of changes have you noticed over the period of?
Tremendous changes. Tremendous changes.
Is it positive or negative?
Oh, it is enormous. I cannot, both good and bad happened. You know, at one stage, that is, I'm talking of 1990, say, that time the general thinking is ignorance is bliss. Many parents used to say, oh, my child is quite innocent. He doesn't know. He doesn't know anything. He can't even go to a cinema. We were always showing, every parent used to take pride that ignorance is bliss. But subsequently the trend is, every parent wanted their child to be well equipped. Impression is, if the person is well equipped, make the child to handle a telephone. Telephone comes, pick up the telephone. Because by gradually thinking now is, knowledge is the strength. Earlier, ignorance is bliss. Today, knowledge is the strength. Fine. And in the process, we start, of course, these are the days of digital mania, language. I mean, so many digital, technological advances are coming. It is very difficult for parents to cope up. Parents know only 1/5 of whatever is happening, whereas the child knows
Much more
Much
than
more
the,
than
more than
that.
the parents.
much more than the parents. And because of this situation, parents are not able to control or guide them. Instead, parents like to steamroll. No, don't do that. A don't do that is a word which is upsetting modern children. Intolerance. Modern adolescent, he cannot take any rejection. He cannot take anybody saying no to him. He wants everything to happen as per his liking. Adding to that, it is also a WHO study. Modern children, I mean, it's like a 20-year-old study. They conducted 53 countries study. What brings out is modern adolescents, they have three main problems. One problem is early initiation into sex. Second problem is substance abuse. Substance abuse need not be only the drugs, even junk food. There is also a sort of addiction.
Correct.
And third is intolerance, leading to rejection, or father says no, the child doesn't like it. So intolerance leading to depression, suicides. These days, for a smallest thing, children are ending up in suicides. It is all because of the intolerance. So much of change happened in the last 10, 15 years or 20 years. Adding to that, the COVID effect also. In COVID, we perforce given the telephones, smartphones to the children to attend to their education. So they have now become addicted to the telephones. You cannot take it away. And it is something like a knife is given to a fellow. Knife can be used for cutting the vegetables. It can be used for chopping something.
Correct.
That is what is happening. So it requires much more effort of the parents.
Anything specific talking about the digital exposure of a child? What should parent do in the current scenario? Because you cannot say no to your child every time.
Make him understand what are the problems, what are the defects or deficiencies. You encourage them, you can use them. You try to tell them, use it for right purpose. Limit your time. If you see, in fact, recently somebody was conducted a study. They say if you are seeing in smartphone, the adverse effect is much more than seeing on the TV.
Correct.
It's a broader screen,
Broadest.
and this is a smaller screen. So these are the things we have to tell them. And parents themselves should also avoid, something like meal time. When we are all taking meal, no TV. When you are watching the TV, no telephone. Something like this. Some self-control restrictions should be there so that the use is minimized instead of making it very broad use.
So basically, you are saying parents have to be more patient
Yes,
than the child.
My dear friend, I like to, in this context, I like people to know what is how Khalil Gibran is a modern philosopher. Modern philosopher. He was alive till 1931. He's not one of the old age time. 1931, he lived. He gave his views on different issues. He has, when a mother brings children and asks him, tell us something about children. What he said is very interesting. If you agree, I want to read it out.
Please.
It has, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you.
Not from me.
Come through you. You have given birth to the child. And though they are with you, yet they don't belong to you. Many of us parents, we consider our children our assets. Our assets. But many of us think, oh, okay, they will do whatever we want. They do not belong to you. And you may give them your love, but not your thoughts. You have your own thoughts. You cannot give them, but not your thoughts. For they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. If you presume they will do exactly what you want them to do. For their souls dwell in house of tomorrow, not today. You are living today and yesterday. Father or your teacher lives in today and yesterday.
Correct.
Whereas the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them. If a child is talking of some higher technology, okay, son, oh, is it so? All right, okay. Try to understand. Try to flow into their thoughts. Don't stop them. What nonsense you are talking? It is all useless. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. Life is progressive. They are the tomorrow. They think about the tomorrow.
Correct.
And he says, you are the bows from which your children are. You are like a bow from which your arrow is going. The arrow is your child. So you want your child to go very far. If you want your child to go very far, this bow has to be bent much more. Then only the arrow can
go further.
Again, important is you can only give a direction. You are not sure up to what point he goes. This is what Khalil Gibran said. Every parent should remember this. Many of our problems start because even children tell us, cry before us. When we go to the schools and talk to them, what do I do, sir? My parent emphasizes I should take sciences. I have no interest in science. I want to go to arts. I want to do some work. No. This forcing, bad.
This is the most common thing which happens in India.
Yes, it's
where
wrong.
Where a parent decide the future
Yes.
of their child.
It is wrong, totally wrong, and it doesn't bring in proper growth and development of the child. As I said, as he says, they have their own thoughts. You cannot dream them. You can only make them understand. For example, the fellow is talking of Air Force. You can only tell him what are the goods and bads, what are the avenues, what are the risks in that. All these you tell them. With all that, if the child takes a decision, you support.
But you cannot always criticize parents' view in that, because they have that experience and they can always guide their, and they always want their children to do better in their life. So we cannot say
Absolutely, I don't blame. But I am only suggesting to them what they know, again, will become very stereotyped. They have a strong belief. One child comes to us along with the mother. They came to us asking us to, we conduct scientific aptitude test in our trust. And the mother wants us to give a certificate that the child has interest in the sciences. So when we tested him, he has no inclination to sciences. The mother even wanted us to take some money and give a certificate. Sorry. The boy finally could not get into sciences. You know what? Where is he now? He was a very smart fellow, and he always wanted to be in the public life. Today, the boy is one of the budding artists in film field.
So sometimes we hear that urban and rural adolescents, they face different challenges. So from your experience, how do their needs or struggle differ? What's your view?
Yes, there is difference. Certain aspects are common. Even during my PhD work, I studied 5 different types of schools. Schools in hi-fi schools, schools in the rural area schools. All of them have certain common values, but certain things they differed. Maybe because, for example, a child from the rural area, he can tolerate injustice. He thinks injustice is part of life. That's what he is seeing day and night. The boy from the upper strata, he doesn't want that to happen. Though he himself may contribute to that. So there is difference. Facilities wise there is difference. But there is a burning sensation in the rural area child. He also would like to come up in life. That urge is there. For that he works hard with little facilities here and there. What else we can say other than the women's cricket match? When you see the biodata of all those children, almost 60%, 70% are from rural areas. They had the urge. And that urge is much stronger than what support an urban child is getting, facilities is getting. So when you have the urge, you overrule all other problems. So they are progressing.
And what are the most common problem between a rural and a urban adolescent?
Facilities wise. For example, computer, for example, TV exposure, or good teachers, English medium schools. These are, supposed to be better schools. They are not there in the rural area. And urban areas, they have a lot more challenges, lot more competition. They see variety of schools and facilities wise they have. These facilities can be misused, can be better used also. The children who are better using them, they are coming up in the urban life. The children from the rural area, whoever has that urge, and they come up.
Sir, one very common aspect where parents often see their child misbehaving or withdrawing, which is, I think, a developmental stage. So how would you describe this? Because parents doesn't understand sometimes misbehaving is actually not misbehaving.
Well, I think we have come onto the point. See, one issue I keep telling parents and teachers. If a child they see is misbehaving, it may not be really misbehaving. He may be having certain frustrating points. He may be having certain unmet needs. He may be feeling very inferior. He may have been insulted unwittingly by the teacher or by the parent. All these turn back and the child may feel no more.
How can communities, parents, and school best cater to changing needs for adolescents?
First of all, they need to understand that children are different, adolescents are different. As I said, I keep stressing on this point. They have their different personality, needs. Society has to accept. So, one should not become judgmental. On one small incident, you should not say, this he's a bad boy, he's a good boy. Not judgmental. Second, allow some time for them to improve. As I said, parents need to understand, need to encourage them and support them. What is expected of parents is a supportive atmosphere, not authoritarian banging. Don't do that, not that.
So, before we end this insightful podcast with you, one piece of advice for building resilience in adolescence.
Yes, that again depends on how parents and teachers are building them up. Children are bound to make mistakes, bound to have problems. If the parent or the teacher addresses them and tell them, no, it is not end of your life. Usually, parents says, oh, 10th you got very poor marks, 12th you got very poor marks. That's the end of your life. You have no future. No. Instead of that, parent or teacher said, no, there are various other avocations, various other lines. You try to understand, pursue them. That is where the resilience will come. That's where the inner strength of the child improve.
So, this is the final word which is coming from Dr. Rao, an insightful podcast which we had today. Thank you very much for watching.